Hello, my name is Prime and welcome back to ATS Showcases. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Hopefully you all are enjoying 2026 so far. And for the first official showcase of 2026, we are here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and today's episode is going to take us on a slight journey. Ultimately, we'll be heading down to Houma, but we're going to take a nice old cruise through New Orleans, seeing what all this extra highway infrastructure around here is about. And of course, I'll be talking about ATS and some of the news that's come out recently for it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this Kenworth W900 day cab started up and get on the road. Today's engine sounds are courtesy of the Engine and Transmission Compilation mod, a free Steam Workshop mod that I'll have the link for down in the description below. Alright, let's get rolling. Welcome to the first episode of 2026, my friends. What an incredible day here on the channel, and hopefully everyone is enjoying their new year thus far. And of course, we're hauling some scaffolding today with our drop deck trailer, our Load King drop deck trailer, in fact. Going down to Houma. So as I said, we're going to be doing a bit of a journey, shall we say, in today's video, looping around through New Orleans, exploring some of the highway infrastructure that has been on the map there, and I've been really curious to see what's all that about going throughout the city. So we're doing that in today's episode. So, well, let's get exploring. As I said, hopefully everyone is enjoying 2026 so far. I have enjoyed some time with friends and family recently, hence why some of the videos have been, well, a little bit more missing, shall I say, recently, but that is okay. Much needed, that is for sure, and hopefully everyone can understand that, well, I need a little bit of a break around the New Year's and holiday season as well. It was a very busy November and December for me around the channel. Obviously, a record-breaking end to the year, and 2025 was a record-breaking year overall. It was absolutely fantastic here for the channel, and there are many things to come very soon. A few things that I've hinted at, and there's a big announcement coming this months, that is for certain, so keep an eye out here for that, and I'll maybe talk about that a little bit later. So we got to try and get out here. We're going to go ahead and make our turn. Hopefully that traffic slows down. Hopefully that truck decides to cooperate with us a little bit so we're not stuck in traffic all day. So let's talk about ATS a little bit. It has been a while, obviously, hence the little bit of a break because, well, I wanted some time off as well. We've got lots of news here around ATS, but let's start with the Route 66 rework project. A project that is obviously very important for American Truck Simulator, reworking areas of Nevada and Arizona, but specifically Arizona, or shall I say more prominently Arizona. We got to get to the right lane here. So let's not cut off the Camaro that's, or whatever is beside us. That's a old Mustang, actually. So let's go ahead and get over. Gotta love the AI. Barely signal when they're about to turn. Where was I? Route 66. So, mainly in Arizona, but however, this recent blog post on it, I was talking about the Grand Canyon and the Hoover Dam. Obviously, two major landmarks of the region, and something that is very important for the rework, because right now in ATS, well, shall I say, they're a little bit lackluster, at least according to current SCS software and ATS standards. That is being addressed in the rework based off of the screenshots that were provided in that blog post, and they look fantastic. The Route 66 rework, say what you want about the rework overall. Some like the idea of it. Some are a bit disappointed that the entire state of, say, Nevada or Arizona, or both, are not being touched up at the same time. Let's keep in mind, those reworks are coming, and specifically, I think with Nevada, it has been either, well, not officially confirmed in the blog post side of things, as far as I recall, but in the SCS software live streams that they've done with various members of the team, they've essentially said that Nevada, a full rework of Nevada at very least, is being worked on. So that is obviously a very exciting thing to see, or shall I say hear. Again, Route 66 is going to be a major part of the Project Road Trip launch, at least in my view, and from what the messaging is from SES Software in amongst the blog posts related. Seems like that road trip element of going between, from Illinois down through to California, feel like that's going to be a major player, and Route 66 is going to be a historic route that they want to have fully fleshed out through and make sure it's as high quality, because again, when Illinois releases, that is going to be a route that many people drive in your transports, or if Project Road Trip is released around that same time, well, then that is also a factor at play there. So again, Route 66 rework, as we get through some of the different landmarks and areas, it is great to see at least some of those areas of Arizona and Nevada respectively being reworked. Great to see overall, and honestly can't really complain in my view. I think it's just great to have some more areas again reworked, and we go from there. So it looks like we've got to stay in this lane here. Yep, should be good to go. No misinterpreting lanes in this video. Hopefully we'll see how it goes. I mean, it is a new year, and I am at the exact same Prime simulation. You know what? Maybe I'll use that as a title. New year, same Prime. There you go. Maybe I've just figured out my title for this video in one go. Anyways, it's one of those things. I could still make that mistake, and even though we have a GPS here in ATS, and admittedly I don't use the voice, but you probably don't want to be listening to a GPS voice on top of my voice as well. I feel like that could get a bit cluttered, as we got to stop for the way station here. I can still make mistakes, as many of you know, and as I rightfully highlight in various shorts and TikToks and so on. That is definitely something that I am prone to do. So we're gonna hope that with all these interchanges today that I don't go the wrong way, but we don't really know. Either way, I am still the same person, new year on here. That's not gonna change, well, ever here on the Prime Simulation channel, or any other channel that I may be a part of. That's never gonna change, my friends. I am going to be myself 100% of the way, like it or not. So Route 66 and the Hoover Dam and the Grand Canyon aside, in terms of landmarks and the significance that they'll bring, we've had some other news on South Dakota, more specifically with the truck stops. This is actually a secondary blog post on the truck stops within the DLC. Great to see that South Dakota is progressing. We've got a number of map DLCs on the go for ATS now, which is once again great to see. I'll use those words frequently, but it is the truth. And is that AI truck gonna let me out? Oh, he is. He got over. Well, how kind of them. They don't tend to do that for me, so I'll take the courtesy when they can give it to me. The truck stops are obviously very important, almost like the way station back there. Truck stops along our routes are again very, very important to have in the game. It's just the matter of the fact we have to have it. And you know what? We'll have to just see how it progresses with South Dakota, but overall the DLC is looking fantastic. There'll be plenty of custom truck stops, or in fact all of them will be custom truck stops with many unique assets within them. Again, very, very little cookie cutter, or no cookie cutter for that matter, which is great to see. And then we've also had a little bit of additional information on the Illinois DLC as well, with Bloomington, if I remember correctly. A wonderful city indeed, plenty of landmarks, lots of industry and so on. It will be great to have it in the Illinois DLC upcoming here for ATS. Get a number of DLCs on the go. Illinois, we have then South Dakota and British Columbia as well. Great DLCs on the horizon here for American Truck Simulator, and it's going to be exciting to see which of those release here in 2026. Most like, well, Illinois and then potentially South Dakota as well. At least that would be the hope. And then we will have to see how things progress. Now, I will admit, I wasn't quite sure what this road around New Orleans was, because I will once again fully admit I did not look it up, and nor do I know the region that well. Did I just hit something? I don't think so. Maybe there's just debris in the road or something. I don't know. I don't really know the area that well. So, come to realize now that it seems like this is just a ring road around the outside of New Orleans. Maybe I should have just stuck to the main highway and gone through New Orleans itself, but we are going to be, I guess, exiting here and going forward. So I guess maybe this road will be more significant with additional map DLCs and when other states surrounding the region come in, because if I remember correctly, Mississippi is right here, and maybe those roads would connect up through that way? Comment down below what is happening basically in these roads for those who know what the real life version of this ring road is, because obviously now we're swooping back in towards New Orleans itself, more towards the urban center. So again, comment down below for all of you who are more familiar with the region, or at least can look up at Google Maps, because or whatever mapping service you prefer, because, well, I can't really do that right now while I'm driving, or at least I don't really want to, that is for sure. Either way, comment down below, give me some information on that. I'd love to know what potentially the connectivity options are for these roads up and around New Orleans, other than just additional highway infrastructure for us to potentially explore. So I want to circle back with the channel and some of the things that I've talked about in the past, and for some of you, you may have seen a bit of a teaser short, or I guess a true teaser short, that I put out for on the channel around New Year's. There is a reason for that, and it is because it is exemplifying the philosophy in which I am building Prime Simulation for moving into the future. I am building Prime Simulation for what is next. Built for what's next is a bit of a motto that I am running now, and there are so many exciting things coming. I just cannot wait to finally have them launch, and they're going to be basically launched all together. Some of you may be impressed with what's happening or excited. Some of you may say, what was all of this about? You know what? Say what you will. I'm very excited to see what's coming up and the opportunities that are coming up very soon as well. And again, there will be a bit of a launch here into the new year. I was hoping maybe to have it earlier in the month than later. We're going to see how things go. Again, I want to make sure things are all flushed out and ready to go. Full launch. We're just completely sending it, if you want to call it that, going right forward, and we're going to see how things play out. I want to thank everyone in video form, besides the community post that I did. A big thank you. I want to wish you all, first of all, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year now, but also I want to say a huge thank you to everyone for supporting the channel to date, for those who have been here for many years now, and for those who may have just joined in 2025. I want to say a big thank you for the support around here on the Prime Simulation channel and in the community as a whole. The growth was incredible. Obviously, now we are over 11,000 subscribers, crossing over 10,000 subscribers not too long ago. Now 11,000 subscribers, and still growing rapidly, despite my dodgy upload schedule over the last few weeks. It has been incredible, and this makes me so excited for what I am building for what's next, and then also, of course, just the unknown. The unknown is in some ways the most exciting part, but also the daunting part of the whole journey here. But I am excited for every moment of it, and I want to thank you all for what was a truly record-breaking year in 2025. You made such an incredible difference in my life as well, with the monetary support from channel members to just watching the videos, or you know what, just liking a video along the way. You don't have to subscribe. Obviously, subscribing is free anyways. Liking is free. Commenting, hyping the video now, as all these different YouTube features are rolling out. But again, monetary support and just general support on the channel as well. Incredible to see, and it made me so excited to produce videos as we go. Obviously, for those who may have been around here a while longer, you know that this is not a full-time position for me, at least as of right now. I have other priorities. And there are some times I can spend more time doing this, or sometimes I cannot. And there are other priorities that I have at play as well, and other things that I enjoy doing that I need to balance in. But when I see your support here in the community and all the excitement for videos, different types of content, different opportunities, and just generally backing up what I enjoy doing the most, it really doesn't mean a lot. And it really gives me that extra step in those moments where, well, maybe I don't feel like doing this right away. It gives me that extra motivation to say, you know what? I enjoy doing this all the time. And even if in those moments of being tired or so on, that extra push is because of you. The extra push is to be able to see and get content out to you all because you all enjoy it so much, and I enjoy making it as well. So thank you for that extra motivation. Thank you for the support, and 2026 is going to be fantastic. I will say this right here and right now. I said it in the community post and talking about things was what's coming up next. I am not changing. I am still a one-person, a one-man job, or one-man crew here at the Prime Simulation channel, or channels. Nothing is changing there. In fact, the changes are very limited. The changes are for the better, and mainly just updating foundations. I've said that in a bit of a post, but it is the truth. Foundations need to be upgraded over time to be able to, well, hold a bigger home, or a bigger building on top, and that is exactly what I'm doing here with this community. There have been a number of things that could class as more administrative or not, that just needed some help, and or have been put in place for so long that need to be updated. Some of you will enjoy it, or utilize it. Some of you may not. That is the case. But there are many things that needed to be, well, essentially broken and rebuilt to be able to prepare for what is next, build for what is next. And again, very excited to see what's coming up here. More opportunity for growth, and again, more opportunity for more of me. I am still a one-man operation. I've got to find ways to be able to do what I enjoy the most, but in a timely and efficient manner, for the sake of quality, for you, of course, while watching these videos, and of course, for my own sake, so that I'm not spending hours upon hours doing the things that are more tedious and I may not enjoy doing as much, admittedly. Again, very excited to see how things progress here over the next little bit. Announcement coming very, very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that special video where I'll be discussing everything in detail. But again, it's all addition, my friends. Very little or no subtraction, and a few alterations, but nothing to the point where, well, what you know and love with this content is going anywhere. These showcases are not going anywhere. The style of video I make is not going anywhere. Don't worry about that. There's just going to be some new opportunities for you as a community, and of course, for me as well. Well, we're getting off the highway, and we're going to be getting into Homa very, very soon. It has been a wonderful journey across here in Louisiana, as always. We're going to start doing some other deliveries very soon here as well across the ATS map. We've been spending a lot of time here in Louisiana, obviously, because of the release of the DLC. But you know what? It's time to expand back out to some of the other loved areas of the ATS map, and of course still be here in Louisiana, but maybe explore some of the other routes that go up through to the connecting states. Got to do more of that. So that is on the horizon here for ATS, and I've got some exciting things on the ETS2 side of things, one of which is a series I did not too long ago here on the American Truck Simulator side of things, and was extremely popular. So we're going to do the same over in Europe, to which it may be slightly longer. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But we'll see how that goes. So keep an eye out for that as well. Plenty of other content from me and things that I will talk about whenever the main launch of stuff and what I'm building for what's next gets officially confirmed for the community. So far, I must say, the game has been running significantly better in today's video. Yes, it still has some hiccups, but it hasn't been stuttering and juddering as bad. So in the midst of me not creating videos for the last couple of weeks, of course, I have been enjoying some time with family and friends, as I have mentioned, but I had also spent some time playing this game and doing, well, just test recordings, trying to figure out what's going on with my settings ever since the recent update. Of course, I've talked about it in many episodes to date, with just it seemingly being broken and in frame rate going out the window. So I have slightly adjusted the shadow and vegetation quality. I used to run everything ultra, just pulled that down a little bit. I don't think it's really noticeable in this video. The difference between ultra or high and, you know, those one step down, whatever that may be for this particular settings, is not a ton in this game. At least as of right now. And so far, so good. The other thing that I did, I realize this now, and I can't turn here yet. The other thing I did around the time where some things started to go haywire was actually OBS. So I record with OBS, or Open Broadcast Studio, and it updated. And the particular video codec that I use, and mainly the encoding method, which I use my GPU's encoding power, that particular option was, well, technically depreciated. It was still working, but I think it was putting more of a load on my system than it actually needed to, because they had a new version basically come in there. So, needless to say, going side by side with that truck is a beautifully scary thing to do. Needless to say, I think it may have actually had a slight impact in certain situations on the performance of mainly the GPU, which then would affect the game backwards. Again, it was weird. It was a weird sequence of events, and unfortunately, between Windows updates, OBS update, game update, there was a pretty good trifecta of things that occurred about the same time that would affect, well, potentially affect performance in equally dramatic ways. So it was kind of a hard thing to try and troubleshoot. Again, the game, I think, is still a genuine thing on performance headroom, but the recording definitely had an impact in many respects as well. And in particular, with the higher vegetation in these newer areas, I did notice more performance impact than not. So, with the changes that I've made, it has become more stable, or at least, according to this video, at best. Through some of the wind sections, it wasn't as stuttery or noticeably stuttery. It may have done a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And personally, I cannot distinguish any form of quality difference, and I doubt you can either. But I will have to see, you know, at the end of the day, if there has been anything too crazy in my recordings. Again, I don't think there was in the test ones I did with these settings, and it'll be just mainly up for you to judge if you notice anything else. I personally didn't notice it. I don't think you will either. And hopefully things run a bit smoother like they are right now and moving forward, because that is what I want to see. And why did the game get me to move over a lane when I ultimately need to turn right? Sometimes you just need to not trust the GPS, I guess, even though it's the thing that generally keeps me going in the correct direction. I guess sometimes the lane change metric doesn't always work the way we want it, but that's okay. That is okay. Heading into Apex Steel here in Houma. Delivering scaffolding. Don't know what kind of project they need to use the scaffolding for, but I guess something. So we'll have to wait and see. But lovely sunset here in Louisiana. Decided to do more of an afternoon delivery today, which I think was a great choice for me to make. Okay, where do I have to park this thing is the better question. Probably in the building? Is that a correct statement? Potentially. Yes, it is a correct statement. And this is going to be a lovely little reverse, isn't it? Okay, well, let's try and spin around here, first and foremost. And then we'll try and not jackknife the trailer, first of all. Or second of all, because I've already used first foremost. That was extremely close. Thank goodness for the day cab truck. That was one of the most sketchy things I could have done probably there. But again, prime simulation, again, once again. As I say again like 3 times, and it still goes to this statement. New year, same prime. All my antics are the exact same, my friends. The way I talk, the repetition sometimes, the little hook words I say all the time, or different phrases. Or maybe I don't know what 2026 will hold for some of those different phrases. But generally, there's a couple of them that you could probably really harm yourself if you did some form of particular drinking game or whatever every time I said a certain phrase. But either way, don't know what 2026 will hold, but either way, same me, my friends. That one's not going anywhere. Just some good old changes and additions for the better. Squeak our way through here. Don't want to hit that post over there. Start rotating it in now. May have gone a little too far, but I think I've got extra clearance on this side, so I can get away with it. Okay, let's pull forward just a little bit now that we're in the bay itself, so I at least can get the rear of the trailer a little bit better. It's not terrible, but I'm going to try and just get it back a little bit. Beautiful engine sounds as well, as we know and love with this engine mod. And there we go. I am, yes, a little bit far over, but not too bad. I think that is completely passable, given especially the particular drop-off location here. Well, what a fantastic first episode of 2026. Once again, Happy New Year to everyone, and thank you so much for the support throughout 2025. And of course, here into beginning of 2026 was very little content from me thus far. So much to come in 2026. So many plans that I have already laid out, different video types, different content, all things coming and officially going to be announced very, very soon, finally, which is extremely exciting for me to finally, well, have that just about to go out the door, because there's been a lot of work behind the scenes, and I hopefully everyone appreciates the effort that is going into some of these things and what the vision is for the channel moving forward, because I'm not standing still. We're moving forward, keeping what is at heart, me, obviously, keeping what I enjoy doing at the center of everything that I do here, but we're enhancing it. That's all we're doing. Comment down below what else you want to see from me, and let me know how excited you are for 2026 here around the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.